What up, what up? Good to see everybody. D Sensei, Plum Crazy, hello. CJK. Hope everybody's doing okay. I don't know if those are cuts. We'll take a look though. Yeah, we'll get started here in just a few minutes. Hey, Copper, good to see you. Hi, Anna. Good to see you as always, D. Thanks for holding it down. Miss Dog Lover, I feel bad for his parents. Any parent would find it so hard to believe their child was capable of something so horrific. My only question is, why did they go so far out of the way? There he is. Wondering what happened to you, Glenn. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hope everything's good with you, man. I was just thinking about you yesterday. Hey, Silent. Sensei says, I don't think they are cuts. Yeah, they don't look like cuts to me. I mean, they could be. Usually cuts are going to be like a white color when they're that fresh. It's like the fresh, new skin that's developing right over where the area was cut. Just a white color. And I do see some things similar to that, but I'm not sure. Pictures and videos, just not detailed enough. Hey, Patricia. What is going on, everybody? Yikes. Getting crazy emails. This one was titled, Brian Kohberger was involved in Oregon murders plus connection to a fourth murder on YouTube. Yeah, we'll take a look at that later. Welcome back. January 4th, 2023. I have a good feeling about 2023. Good, Glenn. Busy's good, man. Busy is good. Hey, Melissa, was that you sending me that email? I think somebody shared it on the Discord as well. I'm going to take a look. I gathered a whole bunch of stuff for you guys this morning. Got my hands on the gag order, some documents of Brian Kohberger being a security guard there. I think where was it? Let me pull this up real quick. I think it might be Pullman. We'll take a look together. His form that he signed to waive extradition. I gathered about 9 different serial killer signatures. We're going to compare those to Brian Kohberger's signature. We're going to talk about him driving from Pullman, Washington, all the way over to Albrightsville, PA, and um, why they went through Indianapolis. Why would they do that? It's like two hours out of the way. It's like another 100 or 200 miles out of the way there. I mean, were they trying to avoid the path that they normally would take? And why? Why go so far out of the way? Were they paranoid? For good reason. I mean, they got pulled over twice in Indiana, which was probably to keep an eye on them or to get a good look in the vehicle. I mean, if we're going to watch it here, I have the video here where they pull them over. And all you guys from Indiana, do you guys know about that rule? Like every 10 miles, you got to stay one car behind. Unsub. What? It's a weird comment. Quit, just quit. Leave the guy's parents alone. Nobody's attacking the parents. We're asking. You freaking weirdo. Nobody's attacking the parents. Man, I hate virtue signalers. They're the worst. I mean, if you can't bring yourself to ask the question, why would somebody's father, during a quadruple murder, they're looking for an Elantra, right? He flies all the way over there, gets his son in an Elantra, takes not the quickest path to Pennsylvania or Albrightsville. He goes out of his way and they get pulled over about 150 to 200 yards off of the shortest route in Indianapolis. Why? I mean, you're not going to question that? That's very strange to me. And the thing is, you got to realize a lot of these killers are getting away because people are not coming forward. So nobody's attacking this man. But the question must be asked. And I mean, I'm not saying it's not a predicament, and I'm not saying it's easy to turn somebody that you know or that's part of your family in, or even come to terms that it actually may be somebody that you care about. Good to see you, Vanessa. Phony Pen, Copper Horse, True Crime Mama. Hello. Yeah, I think he's the guy too. The Rockaway says, I think Stevie G owes the investigators a big apology. He doesn't owe them shit. He doesn't owe anybody anything. He's paid enough. He's allowed to make mistakes. And if you see his interviews just after that, he already changed his tone. So I'm sure he apologized. A frustrated parent. Now, if anybody's going to stick up for some parents, it'll be them. All right. So why don't you worry about those parents of the victims? And stop trolling YouTubers with your virtue signal. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Rockaways, as always, tax cut. Yeah, they keep pulling him over. It's very strange. I don't know if that's just something that happens in Indiana. Because if you look on the other side of traffic on that video where they pull him over, nobody's tailgating. Where I'm from here in Arizona, I mean, they ride your ass. If you're going slow, you got to be in the slow lane, or you're going to hear about it by somebody trying to kill you from behind. It's really messed up. Yeah, go away, Connie. I've never seen you before. You have no idea. We haven't even said anything yet, and you're already trolling. That's why you were blocked. So nobody can see your comments. Phony says, well, highway patrol is vicious here in Indiana. I mean, that happened to me when I was younger. I didn't have registration, and they must have all been out like, hey, we're going to go out and check everybody's registration because I got pulled over 3 times. But we're talking like within a 2-mile range. I was leaving my office at that time, and I was in a truck that I was rebuilding, and I got pulled over for no insurance 3 times in 2 miles, right outside my office, around the block, and then right before I got home. But I've never heard that. For every 10 miles, you got to be a car behind in Indiana. That's crazy. So they're good at pulling people over, but yeah, if you're not 1 car per 10 miles per hour, they're gonna get you. But double homicide, mm, never know. Miss Thang, hello. After watching the video on Discord, there could be a definite connection to Sandra and Travis. Creeped me the F out. Yeah, I've been saying it from the beginning. I mean, the MO is the same. The location is the same. And you can kind of see how it evolves. Sandra Ladd to the Jewetons, and he had a failure with the Jewetons if he's connected to that crime. So he had to do much better. And I think he may have known he was going to get arrested. But if he had anything to do with the Sandra Ladd and the Jewetton case, if he had that failure, one of his victims survived. The husband, Travis, was a hero, saved his wife's life. We always want to recognize Travis for what he did there. He'll go down as a hero in my book. He saved his wife's life. That's what I feel like the ultimate honor would be. So I think Travis is okay wherever he is, but I mean, the MO, you got one elderly senior woman who lives alone. Okay, that's a good place to start, right? Easy victim from the perspective of a serial killer. All right, we'll get it. We'll do this. We'll set the signatures, mislead law enforcement as if it was targeted, because that's what they said. When Sandra Ladd was murdered, for a whole month, they screamed targeted. And then 1 month went by, they stopped talking about it. Went under the rug. 14 months, almost to the day later, Travis and his wife are attacked in the middle of the night, just like Sandra. Close to the 13th, middle of the night. Wasn't as successful, but just as violent. Jamie Lynn Jewetton is still recovering to this day after years. So she will never be the same. And she has a broken heart, of course. So if he had those failures, he knew he had to do something huge. If he's trying to be this crazy serial killer guy and go down in history like all the people he's studying, he would have to do much better. And he did. Here we are. We're talking about this guy. He almost got away, maybe. Not sure if he almost got away, but I think he could have. If law enforcement and the FBI and everybody weren't on their game. CJK, it's a natural to wonder what the family is thinking and may have noticed. And as a parent of a kid in the area driving an Elantra, I'd ask to see if he contacted law enforcement to be ruled out. Yeah, the only reason I even bring up the father is because they went completely out of the way. Why would you go out of the way? Was there something in Indianapolis they wanted to see? Were they afraid that somebody might know the path that they were taking? Yeah, it's very strange. And why pick that? I understand tailgating and the laws maybe every 10 miles per hour you need to leave 1 car length distance apart. I understand that's a rule, but that's kind of like one of those things. It seems like jaywalking. You see people crossing the street and they're not in a crosswalk. Cops aren't going to stop what they're doing, interrupt traffic and then go give this person a ticket who's just trying to get, to wherever they're going. It's illegal, but they're not going to stop. Now, if they're following a potential suspect, anytime this person breaks the law, yeah, they're going to pull them over legally. That way they can get a look in the vehicle. Did they observe any cuts, any scars? Getting every opportunity to observe what's going on in that vehicle, because I think they were already onto him. Albrightsville, 80 minutes from me. Turns out I should have been looking a white Elantra out here in PA all along. Yeah. I mean, you got to think about it. These guys aren't the dumbest people in the world. They're just psychotic. Okay. So I wouldn't doubt it if some of these killers were traveling across the United States to commit their crimes and then travel back, or they just travel for their jobs, you know. Phony says, I drive 170 where he was pulled over every year headed to my hometown, New York. Not surprised he got stopped 2 times. Okay. Well, it's good to have a perspective from a local there, because I thought that was very strange. I mean, where I'm from on the highway, for cops going the speed limit in the fast lane, people will ride their ass. They don't give a shit. Sensei says, did they divert to pick up a family member or something like that? I don't know. Why go through Indianapolis? It's 200 miles, almost 200 miles out of the way. Yeah, True Crime Mama says, have you seen the video of, I believe it is him walking out of the courthouse? It looks like he is holding back a smile. Yeah. Hmm. Like he's got something planned. I don't know if he was training because of his failure, potentially, if he was involved in the Jewett case, or if he knew he was going to do a crime and he needed to be prepared, or was he preparing to get caught and be in a position to defend himself once he goes to prison? Hey, Don. Good to see you, Don. Miss Doglover says the parents owe no apologies to anyone. They are going through hell. Yeah. Prayers and our hearts go out to you guys, all the parents that were involved. It's like the victims don't stop in these kind of crimes. They just keep going and going. They'll be affected for the rest of their lives. Good to see you, no effects. Yeah, I can't stand trolls. They're the worst. I ain't got no sympathy for that guy at all. I'm sorry. Lorraine, I think OJ is a different story. Vanessa says, I'm not sure Indiana law enforcement knew what was going on. I hope they did. Their track record, man, it's just not looking good. They need a victory, and they're working on that. They need to. If somebody else is involved in the Delphi case, they need to get that person or people quick. Jack, hello. I don't think they knew who they pulled over. FBI didn't need Indiana State Patrol to check in on them. Maybe they did. They can't get eyes in that vehicle. Yeah, and I'm not saying they did. I just think it's strange, that they pulled him over twice for what for the and that morning they were briefed, getting a lot. Give me 1 second here. Anna says, didn't the parents notice his weird behavior? Everybody else who knows him talks about. Don't talk about his parents like that, Anna. How could they possibly know? They're only driving, what, 2,500 miles to go pick somebody up that lives right next to quadruple homicide in the vehicle that they're looking for? Stop harassing this man. How could he possibly know? the most popular thing on the news right now. I mean, how do you not know? Miss Doglover says, I don't believe his parents knew. That's my opinion. Other people think differently. I don't know if they knew. I want to know. I'm asking a question. Do you think they knew? Not to you, Miss Doglover, but to everybody else out there. This is a question. Nobody's accusing man of knowing. I'm asking you, do you think that he knew? To me, it is very strange. Are you telling me that this man didn't know that there was a quadruple murder right next to where he was picking his son up, or where his son lived, and that they were also looking for a white Elantra? I don't know. Am I crazy? Hey, Richard, good to see you. Sleuth, you tell Connie. I hate the virtue signalers. They hate everyone. They hate everyone. They hate everything, and they're negative people. The one time they feel like they can get behind something that they don't even agree with, they don't even care about it. They just know, oh, this looks bad. I'm going to get behind this. Yeah, worst kind of people. Virtue signalers. Look at me, I care. Actions speak louder than words, not trolling. Melissa K says, hi, all from Indiana here. I've been pulled over for tailgating before. Really? So that's like a thing there. I mean, that's nice. I wish that more states would focus on that because it's dangerous. Miss Thing, are you referring to the Ladd and Jewetton case? Yeah, but like Effects was saying, nobody was really thinking to look. Nobody was really thinking, hey, I don't live in Idaho. I don't live in Wyoming, Montana, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, even parts of California, Utah, maybe even Colorado, like all those places that are kind of around Idaho. I mean, I can see maybe looking there, but I don't know. Something scares me about that route. I mean, how many times has he taken this route? There's a lot of crimes along this route, a lot of unsolved murders. Sensei says, agree. If the FBI were doing surveillance, they wouldn't have to notify various states. The less who know, the better. Well, maybe they knew where he was going. Because the radio, you can't outbeat that radio. So if let's say he's here, let me pull this up real quick. Since we're already talking about it, might as well start here. I don't really have a rhyme or reason to where we're going to start or finish. I just grabbed a bunch of stuff. Okay, so this is the shortest distance. It's a 37-hour drive, 2,500 miles. It's a long drive. 37 hours. Hey, Dee Dee. These police that pulled him over never once ran his license. Yeah, that's true. They asked him some good questions, though. They're like, where are you going? And they kind of mumbled about it. I tried to enhance the audio on the pullover video where they pulled him over, where Indiana police pulled him over. But there was just too much noise in the background, large trucks driving by. So it just sounded too crazy. I'll keep working on it, try to find out exactly what they were saying, but they were kind of mumbling. And the officer was like, yeah, but where are you going specifically? And they were like, oh, we're going to PA. He's like, well, damn, that's pretty far. You afraid to fly? See, to me, those questions are very suspicious. Like, what do we think about all the accomplice talk, especially since BK apparently asked officers if anybody else had been arrested? Well, I also heard that that's like something that killers say, or it's something that a famous serial killer once said, just to throw off law enforcement. But I didn't know. Maybe he was just concerned about his father. Like, hey, did you guys arrest anybody else? Like, hey, he didn't have anything to do with it. Or maybe he was concerned that he would be charged. Maybe like accessory after the fact. Miss Thang says, I wonder if Travis' wife can speak after her attack. Maybe she can describe the perp at some point in the future. Yeah, she can talk. She does struggle. She does have a GoFundMe. If anybody wants to, it's not hard to find. Just Google Jamie Lynn Jewett and GoFundMe. I mean, she has medical bills, up to the ceiling. She was stabbed 19 times, guys. 19 times. Okay, now this is the path from Pullman to Albrighton through Indianapolis. So it's 2 hours more to go in this direction. Why would they do that? And who's to say they even went, along this path? Maybe they went way out of the way. Yeah, it could be some kind of planned road trip that they do often. I don't know. Maybe they do this every 14 months. And he commits his murders right before his road trip so he can get the hell out of there. There's some kind of cycle here. Hey, Electra. Israel Keys, yeah. Weather related. Okay, that makes good sense. See, now we're talking. Thank you, Jill. Weather related. See, I don't have to deal with these weather issues, but that makes total sense. Weather related. Thank you. Avoiding the snow and ice or bad storms. Speed limit was 70 where he was stopped and too many semis to count. Laugh out loud, you speed to survive. Yeah, I remember when Bill from Delphi Timeline was coming into Delphi, that turn, like there's no turning lane. You got to turn at I think 65 miles per hour or something like that. It's very dangerous. Electra says, I think he wanted to get caught for the notoriety and he will end up telling how he did it. Yeah, I think he's responsible for all these murders and I think he felt he did enough. Now it's time for the fame. And if he was interested in the BTK killer, a lot of the frustration and what got the BTK killer caught was law enforcement was not coming out publicly and saying, "Hey, these different cases are connected." So he literally started sending letters and calling in 911 and doing all this weird stuff so that he could get the recognition. The Rockaway says, "Why didn't he just ditch the car in a lake or off a bridge? That white Elantra was red hot." Yeah, I think it goes back to what Electra was saying. That weird smirk that he had. Here, let's take a look at this. When he got arrested, he just had this smirk on his face. Really annoying. So maybe getting caught was part of the plan. Maybe he plans to do some weird theatrics throughout the court process and solidify his name amongst these serial killers. I don't think this is the first time for him. I just don't see somebody for the first time taking on four young people. It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so we're going to focus on these two questions here. Electra says, I think he wanted to get caught for the notoriety. And why didn't he just catch or ditch the car off the bridge? So let's watch his demeanor here in this video.
Hey, Brian, did you do it?
How are you feeling?
How you feeling, Brian?
Brian, did you do it?
Are you ready to go to Idaho?
Brian, did you do it?
You last time in Pennsylvania, Brian. Hey,
Brian.
So here, I think I actually have the photo. Somebody got a real good screenshot of it. He does not look concerned to me. And here's a good shot of his hands. Looks like there's might be some cuts and scratches here on this side. It's hard to tell because it's snowing. Man, he looks like Ted Bundy so much. Hey, Indy. Hey, Bossy. Good to see you. Do we know if BK traveled to Washington and Oregon while he was studying in PA? I have a feeling he did. There's a couple videos that people are sending me to check out because from the beginning, I did say that this guy could be a serial killer connected to the Ladd and Jewett case. At the time, it was far-fetched because law enforcement was saying that it was targeted. But if you look at the sophistication of the crime, this did not look like a crime of passion. Crime of passion, usually you're going to get caught really quick because you're somebody that's passionate about the victim. You're completely connected to them in some way that's obvious to the people around them and you. So, yeah, I think he wanted to get caught. I don't know if he's going to try to do some weird Ted Bundy, stuff in the courtroom. I'm just not sure. Oh, we got a super chat. Hold on. I should have put the timer on. Hey, Tom. Thanks for the super chat. Is this the route they took? Well, I don't know if that's the route they took, but that's a route that it seems like they would have had to take if they're going to Albrightsville and they got pulled over right outside of Indianapolis. Hey, Melly. The guy on Twitter that predicted the arrest coming with the inside info said they are looking into someone having a memory card that may have a recording, like he had a body cam, like a GoPro or something. I could see that. Shit, he kind of looks like the young Sketch. How crazy would that be? But seriously, Mandy, I mean, the path that this guy took is so strange. And that date, the 13th, man, I just can't get over it. I don't know what to say about that. They were driving back. Andrew Derringer, hello. They were driving back during the winter. I would assume the roads may have been more clear and more southern route rather than one that's on the border of Canada. Yep. Who else said that? But yeah, that's good. That's a good theory and a good thought. And that's why we get together like this, guys, so we can kind of make sense of it all. Hey, reach into my soul. Good to see you. The mind boggles. Hello. Digital. Hello. Wonder if he chose Washington because of the scholarship or paid position as a professor assistant. I wonder if he chose it. Isn't that where wasn't he studying under somebody that had a connection and wrote an autobiography for the BTK killer? What's her name? Does anybody know? Right, I can find it, but if you have it, I can just grab it from the chat. But maybe he specifically sought her. He wanted to learn from her, wanted to talk with her. Yeah, Cheryl says he couldn't ditch the car because it was his parents' car. That might be a little hard to explain. I don't know if it was his parents' car, but I believe that you're right. And what are you going to do? How are you going to get around? How are you going to get away? See, people from the street make better criminals because they know how to do things like Grand Theft Auto. Like when I was 13, 14, we just went around stealing cars. I was a really bad kid. So, I mean, if we were going to go steal clothes or something for school, we would just go steal a car and then we would go do like we called it a clothes run. We'd go to the local clothes place and then we'd just leave the car like somewhere like on a side road or anything. We didn't care about any of that. And that's how most people, these bank robbers, that's what they do. They'll go steal a car, or they commit any type of serious crime. Um, they'll go and they'll steal a car that's not associated with them. Richard says, yeah, he seems proud of himself. Probably is too. I think so. I mean, if he was looking, if his heroes are serial killers, you might be right. I also do think he was in chat rooms and called into live streams. Oh, that's so creepy. I believe that too. And when you saw he was pulled over, he had his phone right there, He had his cell phone. Hey, Tommy. Good to see you. Oh, that was you, Melly? Thank you so much. I can't wait to see that video. Somebody posted. Did you post it in the Discord as well? Because it's somebody put that in there just a few moments before we got started. Yeah, he might be preparing to use this courtroom as his theater. Okay, so let's watch the full traffic stop. Just for those of you who haven't all seen it. I'm pretty sure you have, but for those of you who haven't, it's pretty interesting. It'll give you more of a perspective on how far he was and why they pulled him over is really strange. Like he wasn't even close to the semi. Okay. I think I accidentally interrupted. Perry, you think he looks scared?
I stopped me when you were driving by me there. You're a little too close to the back. About 6 or 7 cars. Oh, you guys did? Yeah, man. You guys stopped by a trooper?
That's a good point. Phony Pin says it seems it was sloppy too. Like he got away with killing before and now he felt invincible and made mistakes or good detective work. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of both. We know that one of the victim's parents said that this person made a lot of mistakes, left a lot of evidence. But just like Delphi, you can leave all, DNA behind, but if you're not in any kind of database, how are they going to find you? But there's rumors that there was some kind of public database that he had participated in, and that may have led put him on the radar.
We don't have any SUVs. It was a county guy. Was it like a black SUV? Yeah. Okay. All right. You thought you guys were following too closely?
Sleuthintuition@gmail.com, Electra.
Okay. Today?
His eyes, yes. Let's look at this right here. Yeah, something about those eyes, huh? Thank you, Tom. The new bod cam, he never shows right hand. Yeah, it seems like he's covering his right hand, huh? I did notice that. In almost every video, he's kind of concealing his hand. He reaches across his body with his left hand to get his driver's license back. Yeah, that is kind of strange. Good catch. Hey, Drunk Turkey Show. I love your stuff, man. I think he's a first timer. He looks like Ted Bundy if he got hit by the ugly stick. Oh, shit. First body cam. Damn. We'll have to save that for next. Thank you so much, Tom. Can't believe we've already been streaming for 40. Ted Bundy's ugly cousin. This is from the Rockaways. Sleuth intuition. My impression is that the crime is not sexually motivated, but intellectually motivated, like a problem solving challenge that would give him status among the great criminals. Yeah, I think his goal is to be one of the great killers. And he had to do a certain amount of things for that to happen. I don't know if he was done with what he's doing and now he's on to the next phase. Because you don't become famous until you get caught. You know what I mean? Until they know who you are. And if he's studying all these great killers, why is he so interested in them? Hey, Purdue, how are you doing? I was just thinking about you this morning. Anna says, I think he was stalking Maddie and Kaylee for some time, got obsessed and raged. Yeah, does anybody know? Have they followed up on the whole stalker thing? Do they know if this is their stalker? Is this the guy? Jack Harris says he had plenty of time to flee to Mexico or something, that's for sure. Well, it would have been a shorter drive. That's 100% the truth right there. Would have had a shorter drive to Mexico than he would have Brightonsville, PA.
Well, I'm not going to give you guys another ticket or warning if you just got stopped. Just make sure you give yourself plenty of room, okay? So like I said, it's all about how fast you're going, okay? So if you're going 10 miles an hour, you only need one car. Or if you're going, so speed limit here is 7. If you're going 70 miles an hour, you need 7 cars. Yeah. That's the easy way. Yeah. It's funny, it's in the B&B manual, it says 2 to 3 seconds. All right, you guys have a safe trip. Where y'all heading? Thank you so much.
Oops, sorry.
Where y'all heading to? Huh? Oh, where at? PA? It's a long haul. You guys scared of airplanes?
Well, Tax, he was stabbed over 20 times. So he was stabbed first and then was able to save his wife. So.
All right, well, hey, please have a safe trip. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Violet. Says, I agree, planned crime, likely not first serious crime, and have a feeling this is all part of an experiment for him. Yeah, I agree. Yep, stop twice, back to back. So look, okay, I want you guys to notice something. So I think what the cop is doing right here is he's driving right next to him, right? And he's kind of driving the distance that you should be legally at 70 miles per hour, 7 car lengths, right? And if you notice on the other side of oncoming traffic, nobody is tailgating. So it must be like a serious thing here in Indiana. But watch, the second he goes about 2 car lengths ahead, he pulls him over. So he's going to be right next to the cop on the right lane there. See him pulling up? There's the Elantra. So it's not like he's tailgating, right? He's not on the ass of the truck. But he's definitely not 7 cars. Now he's about 3, which I think is the law here in Arizona. 3 car lengths. See, he's not tailgating or anything. So why pull him over? He's still pretty far behind. Yeah, Melly. I wonder if they knew it was him and they were trying to just kind of track him, keep eyes on him. Maybe they pulled him over just to make sure they knew where he was going. But that would have been kind of smart, go into Canada, go all the way through Canada, and then come back into the United States, closer to Pennsylvania. But then again, you got the weather. Okay, so right there, I mean, he really wasn't tailgating. He wasn't doing anything that seemed out of the ordinary. It was almost like the cop was waiting for him to do something. Thank you for the email, Lisa. Yeah, I have to take a look at all these videos. I can't just throw them on a YouTube live stream. They might hit me with some kind of copyright stuff, or that lady was in PA. Oh, was she? Hey, Chopper, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, his eyes, man. Look at that shit. Why are they so bugged out? Oh, that's a good thought there. Digital says, I think the girls got to know him as a regular at their restaurant, realized he was weird, blew him off, and wanted revenge. Yeah, because weren't they working at a vegetarian restaurant or a vegan restaurant? And vegan restaurants are good. I like to eat there. I was vegan for quite some time, not anymore, of course, but it's definitely a certain type of person. You're very strict at that time. I was the healthiest I've been. I was very militant at that time. I was running every day, 3 or 4 miles with a group of people that I lived with, some roommates. Yeah, so he might have just been very radicalized in his own mind, I guess. But Travis Jewetton and his wife are both vegans, so there's another connection. Do you think the internet going down that night was a coincidence? And do you think the AI image resembles BK at all? What AI image? There's a lot of information I don't have. I'm sorry, Taylor. Good to see you. Yep, his professor. The professor that helped him get into the doctorate program was the one who wrote the autobiography. Yeah. Shit, maybe she has some secrets too. I think I have a video on that. Hold on. I think I played one for the members only yesterday. Let's see what I did with it. Because I know they talk with the BTK's daughter as well. She wrote a book on her father. I might have deleted it though. Yep, looks like I did. Running out of space on my system, so I got to kind of pick and choose. Like, oh man, do I delete this one or do I delete that one? So here's the gag order filed yesterday in the District Court of the Second Judicial District of the State of Idaho, Indiana, and for the County of Latah. State of Idaho versus Brian C. Koberger. The court, by stipulation of parties, enters its orders as follows. It is hereby ordered that the parties to the above titled action, including investigators, law enforcement personnel, attorneys, and agents of the prosecuting attorney or defense attorney, are prohibited from making extra judicial statements or written or oral concerning this case. So they filed the gag order yesterday, and I believe he signed it. At least I thought he did. Oh, here it is. No, he signed the extra to waive extradition. So we'll look at that as well. So, Court of Common Pleas of Monroe County, 43rd Judicial District, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Brian Koberger. Hereby certify that I, Brian Koberger, of my own free will, do voluntarily agree to return to the state of Idaho. And there's his signature. It's a strange one. No, I don't like to tailgate Rockaway. I used to drive crazy, but not anymore. I don't mind taking my time. Thank you, Tom, for the super chat. Watch American Psycho. Looks like he tried to copy. Yeah, it kind of looks like him, huh? Oh, wow. He looks like that character. You think so, man? Do you think he's going to represent himself? Okay, before the live stream, I pulled a bunch of signatures from famous like serial killers that he may have studied. Let's take a look at that. I didn't really see any. I didn't see any of them that were similar. Yeah, thank you, Tom, for sending that. I got that. I got to pull it up first, and then and I'll definitely present it on another live stream. We're already running out of time here. Jeanette says he's petrified. Just got stopped for speeding 10 minutes earlier. Now he's not speeding and getting pulled over again. Yeah, they both look concerned. Yeah, it must have been nerve-wracking. Did not BTK commit his first murder at 28? And this guy's 28. Yeah, that's a good point. And I think he killed 4 people too, didn't he? Like a whole family. He didn't pull all the way over to make it quick escape or get trooper run over. Yeah, I noticed that. And the trooper pulled all the way over to put himself in a more strategic position. You know, he could easily just back up and start firing through the back window and then take cover behind his cruiser if he needed to. Yeah, that is crazy. Maybe he wanted to get caught. Yeah, cold-blooded eyes. Beady bug eyes. God, that's awful. Yeah, because his dad, when they're walking into the courtroom, I have that. We'll see it here in a minute. He's definitely not like in very good shape. You can kind of see he's got some ailments. Yeah, shout out to Drunk Turkey Show. You guys are great over there, man. I watch you guys all the time. When their eyes look like that because they have been taking orders from the devil. Yeah, or he's possessed by the devil. Yeah. Looks like pure evil. Oh, thank you, Drunk Turkey. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What's up, Francis? What you up to, buddy? Hi, Casey. I don't know, Chopper. I don't know if they have the death penalty in Idaho. Wow. That's a good point, Rockaway. If you study architecture, you want to become a famous architect, right? Or you want to be the best architect that you can be, better than your predecessors. That's a good point. Interesting point. Lynn thinks the family knows the connection but will not say. Yeah, that's a tough debate. You know, you really don't know until you're in that position. Would you risk your freedom to protect a child? It's a hard one to answer. It will be so interesting to see what they recover from his apartments, parents' home, and office. Yeah, and that knife could be anywhere between Moscow, Idaho, and Pennsylvania. Who knows where the hell it is? I'm hoping he couldn't part with it. That's what I'm hoping. All right, let's analyze these. We need Alexa in here. Okay. Thank you, Tom, with the super chat. Law enforcement knew those questions say everything. Yeah, I agree. I think I have another super chat somewhere down here. Super sticker. Hey, Heather, haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you guys. Miss Vixen, hello. Idaho has death penalty, but no insanity defense. Yeah, because you kind of got to be insane to kill anybody, right? No, they do have a vegan menu in jail. Because a buddy of mine, when we were younger, he spent 4 years in jail for growing marijuana. And he was vegan at the time as well. And they, I don't know how the menu was, if it's really vegan. Perhaps Allie's theory video. Hi, Blind Squirrel. Perhaps Allie's theory video of the Delphi connection to the Idaho 4 murders has legs to it. Yeah, I mean, you can't ignore the path that he took to PA. You can't ignore the dates, the 13th. And if he's some kind of crazy serial killer or something like that, I mean, he would have been 18 during Evansdale if they're connected. I'm not saying that they are. That's a real stretch. But I mean, why not? I mean, I'm saying it's possible. That's all. They have the death penalty in Idaho. They don't have the insanity plea. Kaylee's parents were interviewed on Fox News, and the mother said she wants the death penalty. I mean, I just can't believe what he did to those people. I can't wrap my head around it. Sean, hello. He thought he was so smart to where he didn't think to ditch the car. Yeah, maybe his ego was just too big. Hey, Glenjamin, good to see you. Nobody in his classes at Washington State University have reported seeing any injuries on Koberger. Yeah, maybe he doesn't have any injuries. I keep hearing people talking about him, but I don't see them. The images are not clear enough yet. But I'm sure, law enforcement would be taking photo and images of his hands to see. That's a good point too, Anvrum. Kind of a chicken and the egg situation. Did he go into criminology studies because he wanted to be a criminal, or did he become interested in committing crimes because of the studies? I think the chicken came before the egg. Yeah, it's good to see you, Heather. Hope everything's well. Bread and water, if you're lucky. Richard says, I bet they don't cook vegetarian meals in different pans in prison. Nope. Yeah, that could be, Ann. Like I'm saying, I think this dude was just really radical. So here's his signature right here. Now I don't know if it's because he was in handcuffs, and he's trying to sign the paper, dragging his other arm along. But there's Ted Bundy's right there. Trying to look all fancy. And his hero, Dennis Rader. They're nothing alike. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Unless they took some kind of back road out of there. Did they take some back roads just to kind of avoid potentially being seen? I mean, why is the car so dirty? Is it just because they're just driving so far? The snow, the rain. I know when you're driving through like winter weather, your car just gets really dirty. CJK, my email is sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Yeah, send it to me. I'll take a look. The art arm? Or the right arm? Yeah, I will. Yeah, I don't have enough information on the drug stuff. I know there was somebody from his past that came forward and said, yeah, this guy was on heroin or whatever. Oh, that looks like a shaky signature to me. Hi, Casey. I am making a bet. He's bricking it. Bricking it? Maybe this is where he realizes he effed up. Yeah, he's had plenty of time to think about his errors. That's very dirty. I'm going to chop it up to the snow, but they could have taken some back roads. It's on his right side of the wrist. Well, I see that indention, but it looks like the bone. It just looks like his bone is sticking out, his wrist bone. Tailgater sludge makes white car dirty. Yeah, I can see that. And maybe they ran into some trouble and had to change their course. Like, well, we can't go that way. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know about vegan, maybe vegetarian. Those damn Boca burgers or whatever. Let's see. Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, that is. It's like, looks like a knife. It looks like a looks like a big butcher knife. See that? Like it's even the shape of a blade. Fucking crazy. Yeah, very scary. Is that what bricking it means? Bricking it. Shout out to the UK. Big up, big up. Let's see, Ed Gain. His kind of looks more like Ed Gain's, huh? So look at Ed Gain's and then look at Brian's. But something's telling me that might not be his real signature. That looks like a courtroom. My hands are handcuffed. I should have found a better one. So I'll post this on my community page if you guys just want to download it or take a look at it. I mean, it's better than the ones that I found online. I could have probably brought the Gary Ridgway out a little better. Actually, those are kind of similar, huh? Ed Kemper, John Wayne Gacy, Richard Ramirez, yeah, I'm going to take a good look at that. Try to find the best version out there and then use my image editing stuff to try to get a better look. All right. Before we start closing out, there's a couple things I wanted to share with you. I think there was a CNN media clip I wanted to show. Before we do that, let's watch. I think this is Brian Kohberger's family arriving to court. That might have been yesterday as well. So that must be the mom, the sister, and I think the dad behind that was with him in the vehicle. How embarrassing. Victims right there. 3 victims. 3 of Brian's victims right there. Potentially. Yeah, and it never ends. I mean, look at the Delphi case. They're still victimizing people there. It's not over. And if they find out if somebody else was involved, those people that knew him, friends, family, people that went to school with him, they're all going to become victims. I call it the nuclear fallout of a horrific crime. It'll never stop. Look at the BTK's daughter. She's suffering from this just knowing that he knew her, or that he knew his father, knew her father. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you so much, Tom. And thank you for your support on the channel. Brian Kohberger is en route flying over Iowa now. Yeah, and he didn't resist it at all. He wants to go back to Moscow. He wants the paparazzi, I think. Don says, I would be curious what unsolved murders there are in Pennsylvania where BK spent majority of his life. Yeah, me too. I've been looking at the map, and crimes relating to the 13th and things like that are just along his path. I mean, you just can't ignore that. Hey, Cold Truth, good to see you. Cheryl says, sadly, I feel bad for the family. They are probably in shock and disbelief. Yeah, they're victims too. Anybody that ever dated him is probably going to be getting some flack. Any of his friends, no, they're going to start questioning them. Are you Are you a killer? Were you in on any of his other crimes, if he has any? But people just need to remember, when we go through our day-to-day life, when you run into somebody at the grocery store and you say, "Hey, hi, hey, can you hand me a thing of eggs, please?" Or "Hey, can I get in here? I need to grab some of this pasta," or whatever. You don't think like, "Okay, I'm going in the grocery store. Anybody I might bump into is a serial killer." Nobody's thinking that. That's why these crimes are so frustrating, and it's why we're so interested in them, because we're trying to figure out how to see it coming, how to keep it from happening to our own family or to us. I mean, Ethan was a big guy, handsome man. He had his future ahead of him. One on one, he would have been enough for this guy. So it could have happened to anybody. He didn't seem like some pushover. Yep. And Heather, it's just hard because we don't know, what's going on yet. So I think when the details come out, we'll know more about it. Anna, you wonder if he ever had a boyfriend? Thank you, Tom. Eerie that he asked if they arrested anybody else. Yeah, what do you think he meant by that? Did he feel like maybe he's just one of multiple suspects, maybe? Spicy Sugar, hello. Well, of course his family is going to support him. They don't want to believe he's capable of doing something like this. They see a different side of him, also innocent until proven guilty. 100%. 100%. Okay, because of time, let me go ahead and play this video. It's about 6 minutes long. Great video CNN put out. So we're going to watch this one really quick, and then we'll finish out with a little discussion. Then we'll call it a day. All right, the title of this video is "What We Still Don't Know About the Suspect in the Idaho Murders." And this is from CNN. It came out earlier this morning.
Over the home the suspect was living in Pennsylvania. Authorities, we know, are searching his apartment complex in Washington State as well. What will they be on alert for?
Well, what they're going to be looking for primarily is the murder weapon. That's the big prize right now, because you've got DNA at the scene, you've got his car at the scene. If you get the murder weapon, that completes the triangle. The fact that it wasn't found at the scene could suggest that he has an attachment to it.
Okay, so that's something that did stick in my mind, was what this guy said. They haven't found the murder weapon, and if you look at a lot of crimes that are involving knives, that are crimes of passion, they'll find the blade right away. They'll find the weapon somewhere near the crime scene, or somewhere very close to their suspect's home, somewhere just thrown out in the back. Because it's not a planned out murder. A crime of passion is something that, you're overwhelmed with something and then you go and react. Those blackout crimes. Then you're like, oh crap, like I'm covered in blood. It's something that you don't plan out. It's a crime of passion. If that's even a thing.
That he wanted to keep it, would not be the first killer to keep something like that as a souvenir. That weapon itself could yield evidence, whether it's traces of DNA or blood. And they're also going to be looking for clothing that he might have worn that night that could have other evidence. So, you want to search that apartment where he lived close to the scene in Washington State. You want to get a warrant and, freeze and search this home to determine.
Happy Tree, thank you so much for the comment. Says it's been a huge relief. When they caught him, I'm an hour away. Yeah, they seem to be confident that they got their man for whatever reason. And every time they bring up this crime and you look into the details, I don't care who you are. I mean, this is really scary. Not only for a parent, but for male or female. So yeah, I'm glad that they caught this guy, and I hope that this is the person that's responsible.
What did he bring with him that could be evidence of the crime? Obviously, a warrant for that car as well. So they're going to be looking everywhere that they know he stopped, slept, stayed, or has been to see what did he leave behind that can trace him back to that scene.
Yeah, good point. You know, Andrew McCabe, I'm anxious to get your thoughts on this as well. What do you think?
Well, I think I agree with John's points there. I would add to that they're probably also going to be looking for any sort of evidence of connection between this suspect and the victims, and that could come in the form of internet search logs on his computer. It could come from connections that he might have had with the.
Okay, so Glenjamin and Jeanette R. Thank you so much. So I heard that early on when he came in and asked, "Hey, did you guys make any other arrests?" Yeah, he was like kind of tipping his hat. So I think we're gonna see a lot more from this guy. I think he's getting ready to turn the courtroom into a theater to solidify his place in the history books next to these people, I think.
Victims via the internet or telephone or text messages or those sorts of things. So grabbing his electronics devices during the course of all these different physical searches is going to be very important. Exploiting the information that's on there is going to be very important. And it all also goes to building that timeline.
Yeah, hit that like
You
button
want
if
to
you
be
guys
able
could.
to put
Helps
him
my channel out a
down
lot. Thank
in
you.
a place, at a location, conducting an activity, certainly every day following the homicide, but
Yes,
also
Purdue.
as much as possible in the days leading up to the homicide. So you can paint a picture of where this guy has been and what got him to that homicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that blade could be anywhere, right? They took a long drive. Alina's Anukit. Hello, Brian studied all the killers to get ready for BS games. Yep. And that's all Ted Bundy did. He used the courtroom as his theater. And I think to re-victimize people, to stand right in front of them and kind of look them in the eye and say, look, you're forced to interact with the person that basically destroyed your life. That's interesting. See, I'm going to look into that a little bit more. I don't really have reference on that. Ann Vroom says, once again, law enforcement did an exemplary job on this case. Much respect. Shout out to them. I think the FBI had a big part in this too. So this was good for our country. Justice. Nobody can bring justice for this family. Nothing's going to bring these victims back. I just don't know, how do you prevent this? I mean, all these people sitting in a criminology classroom and you don't see the mass murderer sitting right next to you. I mean, how do you see this coming? Even the experts didn't see it, unless they did see it and they tried to sheepdog it. Tried to control it somewhat. Yeah, smiling and waving. I love to wave at people. Reminds me of that small town vibe. Oh, this is him inside the court hallway. I don't know if you guys saw this. It was released a couple days ago. Yeah, he's pretty tall, huh? Looks like he's about 6'2", maybe. He will be back in Idaho in a few hours. After his initial hearing, they should release the probable cause affidavit. Good. Yeah, that's what Tom was giving us an update, tracking his flight over Iowa as we speak. I could see that. Let's see. Here's the last thing that I had for you guys. I don't know what you can make of it. Oh no, I have a couple more things. What do I do with that? Oh, here it is. Oh. I thought I had the guy's name on it. This was actually I found this on Twitter today, and I thought I had the guy's name on it. Shit. I will find it. I'll put it in the description some point today. So this was the air traffic over his home. And this I found this on Twitter. Somebody posted it. You can go look it up on your own. I just didn't have time. But this was December 29th, just before they arrested him. They were surveilling his home. So I wonder if he noticed any strange activity. Casey says, that's the thing. There's a fine line, isn't there? Some people just give you the heebie-jeebies. Some people are simply just odd. Some people are assholes. But does that make them serial killers? No. But Richard Ramirez was a creepy, you could look at that guy and just be like, something's wrong with that guy. I'm staying away from him. If you saw him following you at night, you're going to say, this guy's trying to kill me. You're not going to say, I wonder if this guy's trying to kill me. He looks 6'4", 6'8". I think the guy next to him was just really short. So must my conversation is about height. So that makes me an expert at height gauge. Maybe he lied on a driver's license. Maybe. Yeah, some people cover true crime for the wrong reasons. They're almost rooting for the killer sometimes. And you notice that? Lecter, yes, not a small guy, and was a boxer, or was getting into boxing. He wasn't a professional boxer, but his friends say, well, I read this. I don't know if this is true, but apparently his friends reported that he kind of went missing in action and kind of came back and was a totally different person, had lost all this weight, looked like he was kind of medicated, and was also into boxing and stuff like that. I think even kickboxing or something. Okay, let's move on to this. So I think I found this on Twitter as well. I don't know if you guys can verify it. So apparently he was working as a security guard in Pullman, Washington. And he left without picking up his last check. So Brian Kohlberger, casual security officer, current building district part-time security officer. This was back in November 1st of 2018. Let's see, human resources. Second to surface, approve agenda item 7 as follows. So one of his coworkers must have shared this. Substitute custodian and substitute carrier. So what if he was doing all these odd jobs to try to pick victims or something? You think that's possible? Yes, I did, Cold Truth, but when I shared it, I got a lot of flack from other YouTubers, and I just don't deal with it. I have the audio. I can put it out there for you without the video and just put out the enhanced audio. Yeah, they're talking about a lot of weird stuff too. So maybe I'll figure out a way to put out a video with that without stepping on anybody's toes. Tom, thank you. Dark Reality Channel just gave you permission to use his video in here. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. Which video is it? If you can send it to me, because I think I'm going to do another live stream on this tomorrow, like a follow-up. I just don't have a lot of time today. I want to focus in more on the victims' families and what they've been saying on media. Yeah, spelling is overrated, but that's only because I have the grammar of an 8-year-old. Ban grammar. You guys get behind that movement? Oh, really? Don Spain says someone had a video of a security officer in a nursing home who saved a patient and BK was honored for assisting. Oh, the one that you sent me in my email. Okay. Yeah, it's just hard for me to pull up full videos because I need to watch them all, like all the way through first and then kind of record them. So I'll grab those videos and we'll take a look at them tomorrow because I am out of time. Approval of agenda item, leave without pay. Brian Kohlberger, security, February 7th, 2021. Pleasant Valley High School. Oh shit, where's Pleasant Valley High School? Isn't that where Sandra Ladd worked? I could be wrong. I'm going to have to... Yeah, that can't be the same place. There's just no way. Wow. I just noticed that. I think she worked for Pleasant Valley High School Board. I'm going to look into that as soon as we end this here. But we're going to close out now, guys. I apologize, but I am out of time. Thank you for that, Tom. I'll pull those videos today and I'll have them ready for tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out today. Good to see all your faces. If you're part of the replay crew, make sure you leave some comments and we'll get back to you. That goes to anybody who wants to answer any of those questions if you have the answer. And we're going to start winding down. Speeding, apparently in Indiana, for every 10 miles, you got to keep one car length away. And it seems like they were out and about trying to put a halt to all the tailgating that's been going on. because they were apparently pulled over 2 times back to back for the same thing. Good to see you, Don. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. That scared the heck out of me. Thank you, Cheryl. That would have been too easy. Yeah, I was hoping you guys would have some information on this. I just had a chance to look at it, so I wanted to share it. So, Pleasant Valley High School, that is in Pennsylvania. Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Anna. You guys have a good rest of your day. Please like the video, and please think about subscribing to my channel and consider becoming a member. We spend a lot of time in the members only. We have a good time. He is in the air right now. He's in an airplane flying to Idaho. And apparently he's right over Iowa as we speak. I haven't checked yet, Melly, but I will. And anybody that sent me emails today, we're gonna do this again tomorrow. I might add a couple cases, but there's a few pieces of information I want to go more over on the Idaho stuff. So I'll make sure to include that. Thank you for sending them. Thanks, Vanessa. In flight. Have a great day, Plum Crazy. Thank you, Dee. Thanks for holding it down as always. Let's persevere. Good to see you. Yeah, that's why I put the victim's pictures right on top of all his shit. That's where they belong. Just can't believe he did this. Yes, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. That's the best way that you can support the channel, really. Thank you, Blind. It's always good to see you. All right, guys, take care. See you on the next one.